Hey everyone, this is Morgan Davis from Switcher Studio. We're here at the New York Now 2022 winter. Uh, we're here to showcase some of the exhibitors on site. We've got our first one here. I'm extremely excited. We've been chatting for the past 20 minutes or so. A lot of stories here. But do you want to introduce yourself, Jen?
Sure, I'd love to. Hi, everybody. My name's Jennifer Braidwood, and I am the owner and product designer of Braid and Wood Design Studio. And we are a small company based in San Diego, and we specialize in designing and creating modern indoor plant decor products.
Yeah, and so we were talking about this right beforehand, which I think is like such a funny story. So your last name is literally Braidwood.
Correct.
Which is very unique. It's Finnish, we think, in origin.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about how, obviously the company is named after your last name.
Yes.
But the name came first before the products did.
It did. So it's kind of funny when people realize, like, they'll say, oh, Braid and Wood, and like I'll know a lot of business partners or retailers who buy from me and they know the company name, but it takes them a little bit to put it together that my last name is also Braidwood, and they're always like, oh, your last name is Braidwood,
Yeah.
but your products are braided and wood, so how does that, like,
Yeah,
there's just confusion, and it's just so random that I created the company name. It seemed like an easy thing to do. I was trying to think of like creative names
Right.
and like, what do I want to call it? And I was like, well, I love my last name, so I'll just call it Braid and Wood. And then when I started thinking of products and design and my love for interior design and all of that, and house plants, of course, it just, this kind of became its own thing. It's just funny how our products are made out of wood and there's a braided component. My last name is Braidwood. It was destiny.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were talking about it, how a different last name could have been a very different industry.
I could have gone down a whole different path that I didn't even know was going to happen.
Never would have landed on this. And I do want to point out as well for people watching, this is going out to New York Now, it's going out to Switcher, it's also going out to Braid and Wood Facebook as well.
Yes.
So shout out.
Hi followers.
But for those who aren't in the know, what Jen's referring to here is something that I missed on an initial view, is that actual braid at the top, which we'll go into later, and the wooden base. So there's, not only is there a kind of a poetic sort of like emotive element to it, but there's actually a practical one as well.
Totally.
So with all that, let's keep on going. I want to encourage followers on each of the pages to kind of comment into questions. We won't be able to respond in real time because we're going to several different places, but on those respective pages, people are going to be following up and trying to follow up and try to answer those questions. I'm hoping that the kind of what we're doing here will go out to a lot of people who are kind of seeing this stuff and seeing this stuff for the first time, so we're going to have a lot of questions. And so what are the social channels that they can find you on?
Yeah, so we're really active on Instagram. We're Braid and Wood on Instagram, so you can follow us there.
Yep.
And everything goes to Facebook as well. So we're Braid and Wood on Facebook, and then you can find us online at braidandwood.com.
And so just to clarify as well, just because it can sometimes be this, it is actually the word and not the symbol ampersand.
Spelled out, A-N-D,
Yes.
Braid and Wood.
Yes.
Yes.
And so love to see that. And you said your website, which we love. So, we wanted to kind of talk about a couple of different things, but can you kind of tell us a little bit about, some of the products we have here?
Sure.
Some of the, I guess like what some of the philosophy of what goes into like Braid and Wood and kind of how that developed.
Absolutely. So my aesthetic is modern and minimal.
Okay.
I love interior design. I love decorating. I'm also creative. So when I started thinking of what I wanted to do as far as my own company, I knew I wanted to keep the products like very modern and minimal, using natural materials, wood, leather, metal, cotton. So all of our products are made from Actually, I'll show you.
Yeah, please.
So this is our dark and stormy plant hanger.
One of my favorite drinks as well.
Mine too.
Okay.
I need one right now.
Yeah.
And this is made out of stainless steel. It's finished with a matte black coating, and then the base is actually solid walnut.
Wow.
So we use all hardwoods. We're not using like pine
Right.
or MDF. These are high quality hardwoods that make up the product. The base is finished with a matte water resistant coating.
Oh, great.
So you can style, it is meant to be styled with a real plant. We
Right.
just do the fake plants because, you know,
Yeah,
these
you have-
survive a lot better in a convention center
Yeah.
or at Javits
Yeah.
than the real stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our large, dark, and stormy.
And so one of the things that we were talking about that I loved, because
Mm-hmm.
we were talking about, I live in a very occupied apartment building.
Yes.
The packages, particularly around holidays and stuff like that, is atrocious.
Yes.
And that was like one of the things you mentioned that I hadn't even thought about, was like the ease of shipping, because it kind of looks bulkier,
It does.
but can you kind of show us how to
Yeah,
utilize it?
absolutely. So this is a 12-inch ring diameter, and it looks like it's a solid piece,
Yeah.
but
And for the record, it feels very solid. Like it's like extremely well made.
Thank you. So this is wild because my brother was actually the one that thought of this part of the design.
Okay.
He was like, you have to make it compact. I
Right.
was like, that's such a good point. So we created this undermounted channel that totally pulls off of the frame. This frame is really thin, collapsible, and then it's packaged in a very thin
Right,
box.
right.
And then it's really, really easy to assemble. So you just take the frame, you take the wood base, this undermounted channel, fits seamlessly onto the frame, just like that. And you just press it down, center it,
And
and
then you're
you're
done.
good to go.
It's
Yes.
literally
Put
just
your
add
little pot and
plant.
plants.
Just add plant.
Add plant, right? And what's cool about these two is they style really effortlessly, like you can see on a flat surface, but
Right.
really they're meant to be hung. So
Right.
you can purchase a hanging kit in addition to the plant hanger. Comes with a 2-foot long
Yeah, I can-
organic
I can,
cotton cord.
I can hang
oh yeah,
this right
will you
here.
will you Vanna it?
Yeah,
for me?
I will. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then we put the cording in here like this. Here, I'll show you. Tie it around, and then you can hang it from the ceiling.
There you
Just
go.
like that.
It's
Right?
spinning a little bit, but we can have it wherever.
You get the general idea.
Yeah. No, I think.
Yeah, so they look beautiful hung in the
Yeah.
booth here at New York Now. The way we designed the booth is we suspended a
Yeah.
couple off the wall, so you can see the suspension. But in addition to that, did a little shelf styling too. So you
Sure.
can see it on the shelf.
And I think
Yeah.
for anyone who's here or who is, going to be here in the next few days,
Mm-hmm.
Braid and Wood is at booth
1016.
1016, and
1016.
and like I do recommend going to see it. It is we've got some B-roll footage of it that my colleague Dan has shot amazingly
He did
well.
a really good job.
Yeah, like,
He made us look really good.
Yeah,
so
but
it
like
was
super
nice.
quickly. But the design of it is really beautiful, and I think is very illustrative of how it can be done as well,
Yeah,
which I think is
yeah.
important. There is one aspect of having something on a shelf.
Yep.
But there's an aspect of being able to display it kind of in a way that it could be used.
Yeah, in your home, right? Like a lot of people will see the product and they'll say, okay, how does this fit into my home? Or like, where can I style it? And I always tell people who are interested in trying it out is go with the large, because
Yep.
it's big enough to style by itself. You don't have to think, we have our medium too, and then we have one that's slightly smaller, but the large, you've got a lonely corner in your living room by a
Right.
window. It's the perfect place to start. Just right in the corner, put a ceiling hook, add your hanger, add your plant, and you've decorated a sad little corner.
Yeah,
and
like
made it shine a little bit.
made a cranny sort of look much better. Like
Yeah.
my wife and I always joke that if there's any unused space in our place,
You have to fill it.
it's like put a plant there. Like
Yeah.
it's like the interior decorating form of like spackle, I guess. But
Wait, what's spackle? Is that
yeah, that is. Oh, we were just so for our viewers, we were talking about obviously America is not my home country. I'm a import.
an import? Yeah.
But we're talking about how different words and different products can kind of take the place of others. So that's where that comes from. So I don't know what do you guys call it? You put in between. If there's a hole in something, and you have the.
You use it to fill it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, spackle.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
it was like something else. Like you're decorating with it.
Okay, well, so we have cultural pathways coming together. We're walking together.
Yeah.
Anyways, please feel free to comment on anything other than my use of spackle. Please comment just about Braid and Wood. So as you said, you kind of had a different size here,
yes,
which is great, but also like a very different color.
Yes.
Yeah, can you talk about that? And
so
I'll take this
that's
one.
our large. This is our medium. So this is classic shimmer.
Yeah.
And it's done in a plated brass. Really different vibe than the Dark and Stormy.
Sure,
It's a little bit more moody. And this is just like bright and shiny and fun, still with the modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
When I launched the company 4 years ago, we actually launched only with gold.
Okay.
So we did our plant hangers all in gold, and after some time, we got requests like, oh, do they come in silver? Oh, do they come in black? So that was probably our most common request, was wanting other colors. Because not everyone's a gold lover like me. I love gold, all things gold.
Yeah, I can tell, yeah.
But yeah, so we were getting other requests like for other colors, like, oh, my aesthetic's more neutral, or I have silver finishes in my home. So that's why we launched some of the other colors. But this is classic shimmer, and the medium.
And what's the wood type?
Oh,
here?
thank you. Yeah, so this is a solid hard maple.
Oh, okay.
And it's a little more lighter in tone, which is beautiful, just like the walnut. So
yeah, absolutely.
Maple there, yeah.
And so, you know, I think one of the questions I had as well was just like, you said there's some variation in terms of like the colors and these woods and stuff like that. You know, where else do you kind of get your, is it one of those things where you kind of find a resource like that and then you're like, oh, how can I fold this in? Or does it come from requests? Or
it comes from customers, really. Like, we really listen to what the customer wants. So when we started getting requests, we had the gold plant hanger and people were saying, oh, I love your design. I love houseplants. I want to incorporate houseplants, but I don't love gold.
Right.
That's when I was like, okay, I need something else.
And you were just heartbroken.
I was like, just hang tight with me. We'll come out with a new product that suits your needs. So we really like the inspiration. Like, we'll always stay online with brand, modern, minimal, high quality materials. A way to elevate your houseplants. That's our tagline. Elevate your plants.
Oh,
Take
like
your plant
that.
styling to the next level aesthetically, but also elevate them.
Yeah, no,
because you only have so many flat surfaces, right? And you don't want them cluttered up with a bunch of stuff. So to be able to hang, and we'll get into some of these guys too for the wall mounted. But anyways, it really, you know, I stay in line with the brand, and then just listening to the customer.
Yeah,
so,
I love that.
Yeah.
And so, like we said before, you know, braidandwood.com is going to have those different iterations. I went on your social before. There's a lot of, like, what was really cool is you sharing kind of like example images, so not just like your stuff, but like how people have put them in, which I really liked.
Yeah. That's important, because a lot of people will like a product but not necessarily know how to incorporate it into their home.
Right.
So we provide a lot of inspiration and how other customers have styled them, and different ways and creative ways that you can style houseplants. And the Insta's good for that. A lot of inspiration.
I agree 100%. And so you don't have it here. We have some other examples, but can you give us a sense of, like, you know, this is the large, this is the medium, like kind of what the small would look like as well?
Yeah, so our small, and you can go to the website,
braidandwood.com,
and you can see it, but 12-inch diameter, this is a 10-inch diameter, and the small is an 8-inch diameter.
Yeah,
so just slightly smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good for air plants, like air plant styling, if you like tillandsias, or even like a small succulent works really good. And people, I feel like there's this kind of trend for like mini things, like small, you know, like mini. So that's our mini, and it's one of our best sellers too, like the small. Yeah.
Absolutely. I would say, like, you know, that's something that somebody in just like an apartment, like they're moving out, they're wanting to elevate their kind of like maybe it's their first apartment, maybe it's just like a studio or something.
Start small.
Yeah, you can start
Yeah.
small, and like you can really kind of utilize those things.
For sure.
Obviously, I can talk all day, and when we know that, but like I said, go to Braid and Wood and keep asking questions about those different sizes, and you can do that on the New York Now. You can do it on Switcher, or please go and follow the source at Braid and Wood. And so, with that, let's get into some of these other examples.
Perfect.
So we have a lot of things.
I'm gonna have to ask you to be Vanna again.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, so
That's all I've ever wanted.
we're gonna get into the plant hanger. Is well, actually, I'll start with this one.
Okay.
That's for ceiling suspension or flat surface styling.
Yeah.
This is wall decor. So this hangs flat against your wall, and it's also kind of three-dimensional. So turn it. Yeah, so you can see like there's a depth to it, right? Which creates interest. It's not just completely flat. Now turn it back around. You're doing a really good job. And it's meant for air plant styling. And this is just a really cool way to incorporate plants into the home, but also have a piece of wall decor that looks beautiful and serves a function.
Yeah,
so this is our large, and then we also have small. See, make sure it's straight. And like a little succulent goes on there, just like that. But again, it's meant to be mounted against your wall, so you can really get the idea of how it's styled.
But I do like that the kind of the two rings kind of give it this texture.
Yeah.
They give it this like you said, like a layer or like a 3D element to it that's really cool.
Totally.
Like,
dimension, there's depth to it.
And I think like one of the things I want to mention as well with both the braids, the braids and this kind of like leather, I don't know what you would call that. What
it's leather.
But would you call it a braid as well?
This is more like, it's more of like a strap, I would say.
Okay. So one of the things with these is because it's braided and strapped, it has that mobility. Like it's secured in place, but you can kind of like move it as you need to, which I think is a really cool way to keep it like mobile without like sacrificing any sort of support. So that's really cool.
And this is white oak. So we have our three signature hardwoods, like we talked about, the walnut, the maple, and the white oak. Everything is made in those three.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
And so we'll put that one down. I didn't want to...
How's your arm?
Yeah, shaking.
So what's one thing about these, and a really cool way to style them is if you wanted to do like a modern living wall, you can get, a few of them and style them together, like above your bed, or if you have a, in your house, sometimes you have like a skinny little wall, and you're like, what do I do with this? Like a transition into a bedroom or something.
Right.
If you stack three of them in a row
Cool.
vertically, it looks so beautiful. And then style them up with air plants, add some Spanish moss, and you've created an amazing modern living wall that's really functional.
This is like such an advanced level. I feel like I'm on...
You're going to bring so much information back home to your wife.
This
you're
is
going
like
to be like, babe, let's do a modern living
this
wall.
Is like
This
is actually transformed into a masterclass on interior decorating with plants.
I love it.
Well, one of the things I was also thinking as well is like, because that solidity is there, you could probably incorporate like little figurines or something as well. I don't know.
If you want to, sure. You do whatever you want.
I've got a lot of like just little clay figures from different countries I've been to. Yeah. And so I'm thinking that it's like, it would be really cool to have them on there, even with a plant or something. I don't know.
Get crazy. Why not?
That's not Braid and Wood recommended. It's not
super on brand, but that's okay. We'll take it.
Not endorsed. Endorsed solely by Morgan at Switch Studio. But we have one more here as well.
Yeah. And the V's also come in every color.
Oh, yes.
So we're showing it in our light and airy, but you can also get it in the dark and stormy, or in the gold and the classic shimmer too. Oops.
Let me get that.
And then this is our last product. This is our plant shelf line. So this is also meant to style against the wall as well. So this is another piece of wall decor. And it comes with a cute little mini pot.
That is very cute.
This is our blush colored pot. And then you add whatever plant you want to style it. And then turn it aside so you can see it does have that dimension.
Yes.
And it just looks beautiful right up against the wall. The way I've styled this in my home, because I have these all in my home.
Which is what you want. You
Yeah.
want the creator to have.
I did 3 right across the top of my bed.
Oh,
so
wow.
it serves as like a backdrop in the bedroom, and it looks so beautiful. 3 just on an equal line right across with some air plants.
Yeah.
And I think I did a blog post on my website about it, so you can.
So
look,
check that one
yeah.
out. Well,
it looks so cool. It's
well,
fun.
I like that there's an element of, like that idea of kind of bringing some like organic, some life to wall decor, and being able to kind of like arrange them and create like a different impression as you arrange them. I think that's like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got 4 here. Are there any sort of things that you're kind of missing that you would love for people to check out on the website or social? Like obviously there's those different colors we talked about. But
Yes, yeah. So we have 3 product lines right now: plant hanger, the V hanger, and the plant shelf. Everything's online. We also have some great blogs about how to like take care of house plants.
Right.
And I'm not a house plant expert.
Like a green
but
thumb. No.
Since I know enough because we're in the space.
Right.
So we offer some information about that,
Very
taking
cool.
care of plants, that kind of thing. What plants to style with your plant hanger, what ones work best, what to style with the V, and you can check all of that out online. I'm also really active on Instagram too, like I said, so post about my travels to the trade shows and what it's like being a small business owner
definitely
in this space, and being a woman-owned and operated business as well.
Yeah,
So,
huge.
yeah.
And I think, like you said, it's you've been running for 4 years now.
4 years. We're in our 4th year.
Started in your kitchen.
In my apartment.
Yeah.
In my kitchen, in my apartment.
That's an important qualifier because an apartment kitchen is very different from a house kitchen.
Very different. Yes.
So I think it is incredible. It's one of the things that we have enjoyed about being here at New York now is getting to see so many of these different.
So true.
And there's literally like so much inventiveness.
Yes.
And like things that you've never thought of and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
And
really.
the community is incredible. Like I feel like the small business community, there's a lot of small businesses that exhibit here at New York now, and meeting other business owners and just being like, oh, what do you do? Like, what's your product? Or how long have you been exhibiting at New York now? And you start seeing some of the same faces again.
Right.
And pretty soon it turns into like, well, let's go grab dinner. And then you have your like trade show friends, and it's such an amazing experience all around.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, life on the road.
On the road.
If it can't, like, if it's not like that, if there's not a good communal experience, it can be very exhausting and lonely. And so I think we here at Switch have only had good vibes here so far. And I feel like we're only in the first day, so we're going to be here for the whole event.
I know, it's only day 1.
It's only day 1. But I think, why don't you just one more time kind of talk about the social and the website.
Yes.
Just remind where they can find you.
So you guys can find us on braidandwood.com. If you're loving what you're seeing as far as our products, you can make purchases through our direct-to-consumer website, braidandwood.com/shop. And then also be sure to follow us on Instagram, Braid and Wood, spelled out. Like, follow, do all the things. And if you have questions about the products, please leave questions and comments below.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can comment and question, and we'll get back to you and answer any questions that you may have about the products or Braid and Wood in general. And this was so great.
And then for anyone who is going to be here, who is watching this, who is at New York now, please get to booth
1016.
I made a mistake before the show about what number
Don't say
it was.
it.
I won't
Don't
say it. I'm not
then
even
you're
going
going
to
put that into people's minds.
No, I'm not going to say it at all. I just know that I misdirected my own colleague about where he should go to get the product imagery.
He
so
did do
terrible of me.
But come say hi if you're in need of modern indoor plant decor. Braid and Wood, booth 1016 at New York Now. We're in the designer maker section, handmade designer maker.
And then, so I'm Morgan Davis. I'm with Switcher Studio. We're going to be here for the rest of it. We're in partnership with New York Now, showcasing exhibitors exactly like Braid and Wood, which is such a great experience for us. We love live selling. We love kind of doing this sort of work.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. It's so fun to get to talk to people and kind of do it in such a like a
organic way, right?
Organic way.
And to connect with like your buyers in this way and customers, like
100%.
to have that direct line to a brand and a product is, I think, the coolest thing ever. And I think more and more people are wanting that, right?
Definitely.
They're caring about the brands, they're caring about how the products are made or who the owner of the company is. So to be able to put a face to the name and have that connection is truly valuable.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, being able to reach out to Jen directly, like you will be able to reach out to her directly, which I think is such a cool thing that, you know, she's running this. So, you know, stick with us. These videos are going to be going out, like we said, on the Switcher and New York Now Facebook pages. This one will be available also at Jen's Facebook. So, you know, make sure to, like you said, follow her, follow Switcher, follow New York Now to keep all the updates. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.